Well, hello and welcome to our meditation for the waxing moon. Novasutras is providing guided meditations at the 4 main phases of the moon, so about once a week. And we use the moon phase as a way to recognize ourselves as a global species and as a way to remind ourselves of some very important truths about dynamic change in life. So I welcome you now to get comfortable. Find a place that's quiet for you, where you can focus and feel safe. And we like to begin always from a place of gratitude. So I invite you first to think about what are some things in the more than human world that feel good to you, that make your life better? What are the things that you find in nature or that you find in community that light you up a little bit, that enable you to contact your deep capacity for gratitude? Just sit in that space, feeling that gratitude for a moment. And I invite you to think about the beauty of the moon in all of its changing shapes. Every day a little bit different. And how something as simple as the way that light plays across this sphere that we see hanging in the sky can catch us by its beauty, can give us just a moment of connection with awe and wonder at the gracefulness of the natural world. Novasutras celebrates these phases of the moon in part because they are global phenomena. Anyone who looks up at the moon as it's rising in the midday, wherever you are, as it's hanging in the sky, as the sun sets, everyone today will see that first quarter of the waxing moon all around the world. It connects us as humans who live all around the world, a truly global species. Novasutras celebrates our species and our connection with the rest of nature by focusing on these two key concepts that we call agaya and Ubuntu. Agaya is a way that we express our deep reverence for the sacredness of nature. Agaya is a term that combines agape, a word for transcendent sacred love, the love of the spirit, and Gaia, a word that scientists use to describe their recognition of the way that life creates conditions for ever more complex and beautiful life to emerge. This ongoing process of the whole globe as a living system, creating itself, caring for itself, always working to make more life possible. Could anything be more beautiful than that? So seeing that potential for co-creation and self-creation that we see in the living world is perhaps an expression, a process that emerges from love. We try to encapsulate that idea with this word agaya. Ubuntu is a word that may be more familiar to you. It comes from the languages of Southern Africa, and it is used to recognize the way that humans in particular emerge from community, that our notions of independence tend to be greatly exaggerated in the cultures of North America and Europe. Many other traditions around the world, those traditions that we consider indigenous, very typically understand that no human can really thrive in isolation, that we are completely interdependent. Desmond Tutu has summarized this term Ubuntu with the phrase, I am because we are. That any human's identity emerges from their connections to everyone else. And we see this principle in operation everywhere we look in nature. So it's not just the interdependence between humans, but the interdependence between flowering plants and their pollinators, between the microorganisms that live in the soil and giant trees in the forests. There are constant interactions, co-creating one another, that make all life possible. And this central principle of connection, Ubuntu, really reminds us of that, helps us recognize that sacred truth as well. As we open ourselves out to connect with, reconnect with the sacred in all of nature, in Novasutras, we use a practice of calling the corners. And similar to Buddhist metta practice, here we're actually working from within our own heart centers and sending our wishes, our blessings out into the world. So we send our wishes out in the 4 directions of the compass, up and down, and then radiating out, starting from where we are, recognizing those features of the natural world in ever wider concentric circles. So I invite you to join with me now in calling the corners. And you'll hear that after each direction or each area, I wish for all beings in that direction or in that space to abide in agaya and Ubuntu. So if you'd like to follow along out loud, please do so. In particular, just that ending line of abide in agaya and Ubuntu, and really feel into that and offer that out from the center of you. I'll begin with wishes to the south, since I'm in California and it's midday here, so that's the direction of the sun. You might choose to begin in the direction of the sun wherever you are, where you are right now. So settling in, may all beings to the south abide in agaya and Ubuntu. May all beings to the west abide in agaya and Ubuntu. May all beings to the north abide in agaya and Ubuntu. May all beings to the east abide in agaya and Ubuntu. May all beings above abide in agaya and Ubuntu. May all beings below abide in agaya and Ubuntu. May I and may each one of us abide in agaya and Ubuntu. May all the beings in each of our watersheds abide in agaya and Ubuntu. May all the beings in each of our bioregions, those areas where the habitats look the same, have the same predominant plants and animals. So may all beings in each of our bioregions abide in agaya and Ubuntu. May all beings on each of our islands or continents abide in agaya and Ubuntu. May all the beings in the oceans that surround us abide in agaya and Ubuntu. And may all beings belonging to Earth's beautiful, bountiful, beneficent biosphere abide in agaya and Ubuntu. Now, as we feel ourselves sending these wishes for agaya and Ubuntu out into the world, I invite you to drop into your own body a little bit more. Really feel that wish for agaya and Ubuntu within yourself. Feel yourself rooted deeply to the earth. Wherever your body is in contact with the support, let it feel that pull of the earth's gravity on you. Feeling that as a loving invitation. Sink your roots down. Drink deep of the nourishment of the earth. Feel earth supporting you, holding you, really loving you. And then feel the way that strength from the earth helps you to rise up. As you take a deep breath in, let it lengthen your spine. Let it rise up to the crown of your head. Feel that cycle, that reciprocity of connection with the soil and connection with the sky, connection with earth, and that draw toward heaven. Feel yourself like our deep allies, the great trees, creating a link between sky and soil, between heaven and earth. Feel yourself exchanging breath with the trees, taking in the oxygen that they release, gifting them the carbon dioxide that we exhale. Breathing in and out, this gentle reciprocal rhythm, binding us to all of the green things that grow. Taking in their love, sharing our love back. Feeling that link of Ubuntu. As you feel yourself connected with all life on earth, I invite you to think again about the waxing moon, its light growing day by day through this time. Think about how that reflects what's lighting up in you right now. What are the things that are really starting to emerge in your world that you can feel good about? What are the ways that your work in caring for our world are already starting to grow? What are the things that, with some care, can grow much greater? What are the seedlings that are emerging, starting to open up to the light and air? What are the flowers in bud just now, just beginning to open and invite in pollinators? What is about to come into bloom in your world? Even as these things are emerging, unfurling, remember that there is balance. There's also shadow that shows us the shape of things. What are the things that you can use as a resource to help you keep balance in this world of light and shadow? What are the things that can help you find that still point? That can help the things that are emerging emerge to their fullness? That can help the things that are receding fall away? Help you let go and not cling to what is no longer necessary? Remember that finding your own balance of work for the world and work to care for yourself as an agent of agaya and Ubuntu, as someone who is bringing goodness into the world, that these efforts should both be present. Where do you find that balance of internal care for the self and external care for the world that makes the self possible? Treating every act of care, whether offered out to the world or offered into yourself, every act of care as a gift for this growing community in agaya and Ubuntu. At this time of the waxing moon, the moon is also seeing us right now, half in light, half in shadow, the beautiful blue world that is its companion in a gravitational dance. Beautiful blue world that holds the center of the moon's orbit, holds all of the life that we know. I invite you to envision our world hanging like a bright blue jewel in the vast darkness of the sky. All of the life that we know in the universe is here. All of this great beauty and complexity emerged from this one tiny planet. All of the beings sharing this home world. I invite you now to take in a deep breath and gather all the strength and energy embodied in agaya. And then as you exhale, release that as a gift of interconnection and Ubuntu to all beings. Inhale, agaya. Exhale, Ubuntu. Inhale, agaya. Exhale, Ubuntu. Agaya in, Ubuntu out. Agaya, Ubuntu. Now I invite you on your next inhale to gather in all the strength of the connections of Ubuntu, all the beings caring for you. Bring that into your heart. Transform it into the transcendent beauty and love of agaya, and offer that out into the world. Inhaling Ubuntu, exhaling agaya, inhaling Ubuntu, exhaling agaya, Ubuntu, and agaya. And as you take in Ubuntu and shine agaya out into the universe, really feel that work within your own heart. Feel your chest rising and falling with each breath. Feel your shoulders move slowly. Feel your belly move in and out. Feel the weight in your hips and seat. Feel the weight in your thighs, your calves, your feet. Feel the weight of your upper arms, your lower arms, your wrists, your hands. Let your shoulders drop away from your neck and feel the length in your neck. Feel the lightness of your head balancing on your neck, lifting up toward the sky. Start to gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Shift your arms and legs. Roll your neck a little bit. When you're ready, very gently begin to open your eyes and come back into the place you are. Feeling all of that love that you've shared with the beings nearby, the beings in your watershed, the beings of the continents and oceans of our beautiful home world. Thank you for taking this time to care for yourself as a beautiful agent of Ubuntu and agaya in the world. Remember that we offer many events like this. If you and your friends might appreciate more events, check us out at novasutras.org. Some of the things coming up on Wednesday at 3 Pacific, 2200 UTC, we have an open conversation on grief. Later that Wednesday or early morning Thursday UTC, we're offering a lecture and conversation about panarchy, a model of dynamic systems change and evolution that can help us make sense of systems collapse and where we can go from there. On Thursday, we have an open discussion at 11:30 Pacific. This coming Monday, our meditation for the full moon will be preceded by some guidance in Hatha yoga practice, focusing on Ujjayi breath, ocean breath. That will be led by Benny and me Monday, August 3rd, starting at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. You can always find out more about our events at novasutras.org/events. And don't forget our big events 8 times a year at the equinoxes, solstices, and the cross quarters, the midpoints between them. And that next cross quarter is August 6th, and we'll offer an online meditation starting at 5:30 Pacific time. You can support us on Patreon, or if you go to the website, you'll see there's an option to offer a one-time donation via PayPal. And we also need people who want to help. You can help us putting on online events. You can help us in a lot of other ways. So just reach out and let us know if you have something you want to offer to help keep this community growing. Also on our website, you have opportunities to subscribe to our newsletter, read our blog articles, and learn about other offerings we have. We're on most of the usual social media channels, and also we have some free recordings available via Insight Timer. So again, thank you for joining us for this waxing moon meditation, and we hope to see you again soon. Ubuntu and agaya to all.